It was a fun opener for us on Saturday. Number one, we won, and that was the objective, but we got lucky. It's hard to hope it doesn't rain in Austin right now with the drought that we've got, but at the same time, we're fortunate that the lightning and the rain missed the stadium on Saturday night. Historical night for our fans and our players to be in a stadium with over 100,000 people for the first time in the Southwest, and the largest crowd to ever see a Texas football game. So they can go back and tell their grandkids, I was there for that first one, and our players can do the same. A lot of guys had fun, the older guys. They were ready to play, and they were emotional. And it was also good to watch the young guys play. A lot of us hadn't seen them in a game. A lot of you had not even seen them in practice, so it was fun for us to get to see guys that will be playing in the future. We've got a lot of things to work on. It was good to get out there because sometimes the hype takes over and people get your team much better than it is before they've proved anything. And really and truly, we said it really starts Saturday night, so we've got a lot of things we need to work on. We've got things we've got to fix. We're not a great team yet. We can be, potentially, but we're not. And if you are a great team in the first game of the season, then you don't have anything else to work on. It's kind of downhill from there. So we didn't expect to be great Saturday night, but at one point when you are unhappy with a 39-point win, at least things have changed around here. We're in pretty good shape. So that's a good thing. And our coaches and players walked in and they weren't happy as well. So, but we have a lot of things to work on, and we do feel like that when you look around the country and looking at all the close games and tough games and in openers scare you to death. So hopefully we will improve a lot between now and next weekend. Special teams were good. The highlight of the special teams was DJ Monroe's 89-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And that was made possible really by Trey Newton and Malcolm Williams' blocks. He was untouched, and he's really fast. But the credit should go not only to DJ, but to Trey and to Malcolm because they made the really special plays. And then DJ Monroe was our special teams player of the week. Defensively, the two players that were players of the game were Sam Acho and Roderick McElroy. And Sergio should also be complimented for his play because he played really, really well. We had 10 pressures on the quarterback. We had 14 hits on the quarterback with only one sack. And a lot of times in games like this, when Louisiana-Monroe does not think they can protect against our front, they're going to run options and they're going to have quick passes and a lot of sprint, and it's going to be very, very difficult to sack the quarterback. So that did not surprise us as we were coming in. We felt like the 20 points was too many, but at the same time, we felt like it was more important to work on gaining depth and morale and getting a lot of kids to play that may not get to play again during the season or very often that haven't played, and to also get your second and third teamers a lot of work because of injuries and because of things that happened during the season. So the last touchdown we were disappointed in. I thought the defense played great in short yardage and goal line, like we said earlier. But the last touchdown we didn't like, and we didn't like the fact that we gave up too many big plays. There's a 16-yard run, a 31-yard run, a 19-yard run, a 75, and a 28-yard pass. And the big plays we've got to take away. The younger guys need to do better. If we're going to put them in the game, they need to try to play better when they get in there. Offensively, we felt like that we had an outstanding night offensively. The obvious negative was the 3 turnovers. We can't have them. And to lose the 2 fumbles at running back to start the season is probably a positive because you can get complacent with the ball. And after last year not losing a fumble as a running back, now I'm sure that there will be a huge emphasis on it tomorrow when we go back to the practice field because the kids have already talked about it. And as much as we talked about it in preseason, when you start taking it for granted, it can happen. And I'm not saying that happened with Vondrell, but I thought we carried the ball sloppily at receiver at times, at tight end at times. I did not think we did a great job of protecting the ball, and we were just fortunate that those are the only 2 that hit the ground. But we were great on first down, and our third downs were 64%. Red zone was 7 of 7, and we are going to be a wide open spread offense that's no huddle and quick tempo. That's who we are, and we ran the ball really, really well the second half. And that's who we'll try to be. We did get in the eye some. We did try to pound some. And we were excellent in short yardage and goal line, as I said. And hopefully we can continue to get better where when we get in a 4-minute offense, we will do a better job at the end. Jordan Shipley and Colt McCoy were the players of the game. The best offensive lineman, Coach McWhorter calls it the boss hog, was Hicks. He played really, really well, and he's a young man that we feel like is getting better and better. He had an outstanding camp. Biggest contributors were DJ Monroe and John Childs, and the great play of the game was Dan Buckner. The ball he caught over the linebacker's head in the middle is something that we need to have happen, and his height gave us the ability to do that. And Lamar Houston really, really had a good night on the goal line. He just knocked him out of there and really helped us. Talking about Wyoming, Dave Christensen's the new head coach. He was the offensive coordinator and the architect of one of the best offenses in college football at Missouri. And he's a guy that we have seen for the 12 years that we've been here. So we know what they're going to do offensively. When you watched them, we were watching them last night and this morning against Weber State, it's the Missouri offense. So he had Chase Daniels and did an outstanding job with him. They had over 434 yards of offense during the game. They're playing two quarterbacks and rotating them. They've got two tailbacks that they're playing. But they ran the ball really more and better than they threw it on Saturday with a big back named Darius Terry, that weighs 209 pounds. Their defense is not as much blitz as the other night. They're about 30% blitz. It's a new defensive coordinator, even though he was on the staff last year. They'll still be a four-man concept, but like most people now, they will play some 3-5 and go in and out, and we're really not sure of what they'll do on defense because since he is new, they've only had the one game, but they did have 5 interceptions last week, and that was something that got our attention. Their secondary is really good, and they can all run. And their kicking game, they had 3 punts inside the 20, and the punter had 2 punts that were over 50 yards. So that really changes field position. We thought that Monroe's punter the other night did an outstanding job of keeping us backed up because he did such a good job with directional punting. It was hard for us to return it. You look at Wyoming's history. I've always liked Wyoming football. It's like the Boise nowadays. Their team would always come and upset somebody. I went to, as a high school player, the kick game where Wyoming played LSU in the Sugar Bowl in about 1968 or 9. So I saw that game, and then Kick was such a great player for the Miami Dolphins. And then Novacek, obviously everybody in the state of Texas knows him, and he came from Wyoming, and Coach Akers coached there. But they upset Tennessee last year in Knoxville, and they beat Virginia in the opener 2 years ago at their opener at home. So they're a team that has the ability to upset you. Michael Huey and Jared Norton are out of the game for Saturday. We usually don't release those on Monday, but they're not going to play. So we felt like that we wanted to go ahead and tell you that. We will not know any more, or we do not know any more about the unresolved academic issues. So until we know something, we won't discuss that anymore. But that will be reflected on the depth chart because those 3 young men are not on there this week because until we get information, we've got to plan on playing without them. And because of the injury to Michael Huey, Trey Allen will move back to left guard this week. He did play defensive tackle, offensive tackle, and on special teams Saturday night. So Trey's doing a great job of getting in the positions that we need him in to help us win.